So when I was a kid, we lived up in New York State, and my family comes from Parkersburg, West Virginia originally. So we'd always go back to Parkersburg, West Virginia. And my mom's mom, my granny, had several stocks, and we'd always go back for Easter. And right around the time of Easter was be when she would get like several of these glossy annual reports. And I would read them. I was a little Alex P. Keaton, a little bit of a business nerd. I subscribed to Barron's for a few years in high school and stuff like that. And while I'm a technologist and I went to school for electrical engineering, I always had this fascination for business. In this Founders Corner, we're going to be talking about my lifelong love of business. And I'm going to be referring to a couple of annual reports that I read all the time.
We view ourselves in partnership with our customers. We're successful when you're all successful. Our job is to basically build technology that all of our customers can benefit from.
I've read a lot of annual reports and a lot of annual letters by business leaders. And over the years, I've kind of migrated who I followed and who's interesting and who I can learn from over time. Probably for the past, I don't know, say dozen years or so, I've been particularly following Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway annual letter, and I've also particularly followed Jeff Bezos' Amazon annual letter. Of course, that's been taken over by Andy Jassy this year. And I've gone back to the beginning and reread every one of their annual reports from the beginning, and Warren's began back in the 60s. And it's really fascinating to look at these two leaders or three leaders. And the thing that stands out for me is kind of their long-term orientation. I feel like one of the advantages that RunSignup has had and continues to have is that we think long-term. So many businesses are thinking about like a deal or the latest quarter or something like that. And we've been fortunate to be able to kind of stand back from that a little bit and try to figure out what's in the best interest long-term for our customers, for the product that we create. We kind of know that to create software, it's a never-ending task, and it takes time and it takes incredible talent. We call it the art of technology. And we also understand that not every customer is like ready to buy right now. One of my favorite quotes that was in my grandfather's fishing cabin is, you've got to be patient, you've got to be steady, you've got to fish when the fish are ready. And what this means to me in our business is that a race might not be ready to move over to our platform today, but at some point in time they might. So stay friends, keep working hard, and hopefully someday they will become a customer. Anyway, I want to read a couple of quotes. In this blog, I have the latest annual reports, and I pulled a couple of quotes from Warren and from Andy that I thought that I would read here and then kind of apply to how we think about it in our business. The first quote is from Warren. Please note particularly that we own stocks based upon our expectations about their long-term business performance. This seems so simple, but in this age where we are increasingly ADD about what's happening today. Look at the run-up of Peloton and Zoom, how during the pandemic they went from 0 to 100 and then they're back down to where they were, perhaps even below where they started pre-pandemic. And this short-term thinking of kind of expecting things to always be the way that they are today and not kind of planning for where the puck is going to be, I think is pervasive, and it allows businesses like ours to think about the long term and think about the realities of challenges of creating a business and winning customers and building product. It allows a distinct advantage. Andy Jassy talks about adopting a long-term orientation. We're sometimes criticized at Amazon for not shutting much down. It's true we have a longer tolerance for our investments than most companies. I'll give an example. RaceJoy. RaceJoy has been a challenging product to get adoption for over the years. But you know what? It's a great product. The fact that you can follow somebody that is in a race and kind of send them cheers and everything, that fundamental interaction is a killer application.
Make sure to follow the yellow chalk arrows on the street.
And it took the pandemic to try to get it to be highlighted. And it took us a number of shifts in how we package and how we present and how we support that product. And now offering it through our timer channel to races, I think has turned out to be a great benefit. And we've got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people per year that are benefiting from RaceJoy, and it provides us a distinct differentiation in the marketplace. Nobody else has this type of technology, and it provides a great service to the endurance community.
Hey, 2 laps down and just 1 more to go. Finish strong.
But Rome is not built in a day. James and Shelley started RaceJoy, I think like 8 or 9 years ago. So it's a long journey to build some great products sometimes. We've been iterating and remaking our fulfillment capabilities for nearly 2 decades. In every business we pursue, we're constantly experimenting and inventing. That's from Andy Jassy. That describes our approach to software development. We do 2,000 releases a year. He has a quote here later: define a minimal lovable product and be willing to iterate fast. So you'll see us do this. So email is a perfect example today. So we introduced email version 2, this next generation email, last fall, and we continue to iterate on it and are going to continue to iterate on it for the next couple of years. We have this roadmap that we have shared publicly that outline all the features that we want to build. But you don't build great software in a single day. It takes time and investment, and it takes iteration. And along that iteration, one of the things that happens is if you put a product out, you actually get feedback from customers. And while we had a plan of like the next 10 features that we wanted to build, by putting that initial lovable product out, we're getting requests from customers to help us kind of prioritize, what order those 10 other features, and maybe adding a couple more new features to it brings it. Another thing that Andy talks about is give teams the right tools and permission to move fast. And this is one of the fundamental principles of our company that we talk about. It's that middle circle where you have trust, responsibility, and efficiency. So this kind of goes along with the idea that we try to break down like software development tasks as fine as we can and give them to an individual developer, so that individual developer has real responsibility and can run as fast as possible with it. At this company, people are not kind of marked down for failure or anything like that. We view everything as a learning experience. So people feel lower personal risk to, go and take something and try to run with it and run fast with it. Summing this up, I think you get the concept of we're a long-term type of company, and that brings us unique benefits to our customers and to ourselves, quite frankly. I'll close out with this quote from Warren Buffett. And it's really the reason I didn't realize, I started doing this Founders Corner series and writing about stuff. And for years and years, you've seen me writing blog posts that share about what we're doing and how and why and things like that. And I'll tell you why, and Warren describes it here. Teaching, like writing, has helped me develop and clarify my own thoughts. Charlie calls this phenomenon the orangutan effect. If you sit down with an orangutan and carefully explain to it one of your most cherished ideas, you may leave behind a puzzled primate, but you yourself will exit thinking more clearly. That's what these Founder Corner things are all about. I hope you enjoy them. If you do, press the like button, and you can subscribe to our channel for more of this, as well as information about all of our products and RunSignup and TicketSignup and GiveSignup.
Does that mean that all of our viewers are the orangutans in this?
All right, just a postscript to this one. Andrew pointed out to me, does this imply that all of the viewers are orangutans? No, it does not. It just implies that I'm talking to a camera right now, and that camera is kind of the equivalent of my orangutan. And when I write, I don't know if anybody's going to watch it or read it or anything. So I did not imply that Andrew or any of you are orangutans. Thank you.